Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another edition of the Mining Market Signal. My name is Seth and you're watching Mine Your Biz. Welcome back. If you're not already subscribed, obviously make that button explode and then click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live next. We've always got great content, especially in the midst of Gem Hunter season. There are so many really great gems that we're discovering now. But apropos of the sponsor of today's video, there are also some really great gems that we've talked about before and we've been tracking over time, over several weeks and months. And today's episode is no exception to that. Just proof of life, guys, your chat is live and we are going to be recording that in the video. So do be on your best behavior. If you're not, obviously I have to I've got to get rid of certain comments before I can put it on screen. Sorry, not sorry. This is my media channel, right? Not somebody else's. I want it to be a community thing, so please do be cool about it and make sure that you are doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. And most specifically, being the mentor that you wish you had when you entered this space. Guys, this is one of the best communities anywhere on the internet. I'm firmly convinced that's the case, and especially within cryptocurrency. Just wanted to say thank you to Next Era Gamer, Anonymous Miner, T-Bone Gaming, and Greg Moravec for being here right when we started, guys. Really, really appreciate that. Greg says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Definitely appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. I do hope that peace, prosperity, and joy are yours moving into 2022. Really, I think that you deserve that. I think that you deserve as much as you are willing to accept and work for, right? And I know that in this community, we work hard, right? We do. We work hard, we play hard. Here's some Goblin Loser, I don't know, saying, hey, yo. Welcome to the chat, guys. Let's jump straight into the Fear and Greed Index. You're going to see below my video as well, just down there. You see that skipping over the Mine Your Biz phone. You're going to see a little call to action, and we're going to talk more about that a little bit later on in this video. Again, we do have a sponsor for today's live stream, and that is GMT.io. Feel free to check them out during the live stream, and we'll talk a little more about that after we go through today's market talk. We are going to do comprehensive market talk, though, first, and we want to make sure that we cover everything that you need to know moving toward 2022. There's quite a bit, and as always, the links to what we're discussing in today's video are down in the description. Knowledge is power, and I want to empower you as much as possible every single time I go live or I publish. So that's just how it is, guys. I want to make sure that you have every bit of resource that you need to make the best possible decisions that you can. That said, am I trying to give you legal, financial, or business advice? Sorry, got a red screen ya. No, I'm not. I'm not trying to give you legal, financial, or business advice. What I am trying to do is give you all the resources that you need to make those awesome choices, right? You got to do those for yourself, right? You're a big boy or big girl. You got to make your own decisions. You got to stand behind them. So come up with good reasons for that. All right, moving into the Fear and Greed Index, we got a score of 37. And we are down from 39. Last week, though, we're up from a score of 29. kind of an interesting market. We're moving towards neutrality, and it looks like we're kind of averaging towards neutrality at this point. I think that most people are expecting for a bit of a correction to the upside with the current Bitcoin markets, and then following whatever Bitcoin's max performance is for this bull market, that there's going to be some kind of an altcoin season, right? Some kind of an altcoin run after Bitcoin has all of its fun and maybe starts to run out of steam for its upward trajectory, if that makes sense. I know certainly that would make sense to me, being able to observe previous markets and how they kind of been behaved that way, right? Where Bitcoin goes first and then altcoins leapfrog Bitcoin to finish off whatever the bull run is or whatever that bull season is. So hopefully we see more of the same. That said, there are no guarantees in cryptocurrency. Things can shift a little bit. We can have markets that experience manipulation, and especially with such a small market cap, relatively speaking, as we see in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market caps, that manipulation is much more far-reaching. So here we are with that score that popped all the way up to 45, kind of neutral, and then moving back into a bit of fear. Hey, we got Rob Ward in the chat saying, let's see, Victoria, British Columbia got its first day of snow yesterday. It was a white and green Christmas. Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. I know there are a few states that kind of here in the United States and a few other areas of the world that just have kind of a very interesting changing of the seasons, where there is a bit of snow, but there's also a bit of lush greenery, and it's almost as though fall kind of failed, or autumn kind of failed to do its job. And here we are with snow anyway, right? It just happened anyway. That's hilarious. Rob Ward says, but too much use case now for alts to come back down. Hey, you know what? Definitely appreciate that too. We're seeing a very different market than we've ever seen before. Bitcoin was the only option in years past, and now we've talked about it on this channel before. It's in my logo for a reason. I still have that fire in the belly. I still have that passion for the true vision of what Satoshi outlined in the white paper and in the earliest communications. I think that that is very much something aspirational, right? We need to hold that as a gold standard for ourselves. Like, hey, does it outperform Bitcoin? No, then don't hold it, right? But there are many other options, like you're saying. Ravenboy Crypto is in the chat as well and says, it's 80 degrees here in Texas. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Used to live in the hill country, right? And I recall a couple of years where we had black ice and we had snow too. It got into the 30s and 40s on a regular basis. You wouldn't expect that from Texas, but I wasn't expecting for it to be 80 degrees the day after Christmas. Yikes. Rob says, like the metaverse is just kicking off. Yeah, totally agreed. Totally agreed. We're in uncharted territory now. On that note, let's take a look at that Fear and Greed Index one more time. We're back towards neutrality, and I think we are going to continue to see that sentiment rise as price moves up and as we see new opportunities and new launches, new airdrops, and new networks coming online. Not the least of which are going to be projects. I mean, there are going to be some haters in the comments, guys, or some haters in the views in the audience, but not the least of which is going to be projects like Pulse Chain. Guys, you have huge projects that command a massive market cap with huge liquidity that are launching their own sovereign networks. This is going to affect the rest of cryptocurrency. It just is. Opinion doesn't factor into it. We see how much money and how much value rather is locked up into some of these networks, and we see that it's actually moving. So when there are new projects being launched under those conditions, we're going to see some changes around here. That's just going to happen. So we've got to brace ourselves and try to understand these markets the best we can. All right, guys, moving back into our news cycle. What is affecting people's spirits? Why are they going so much higher? Clearly, we typically see a sell-off of cryptocurrencies moving into the holidays, but we're seeing that sentiment is improving. It's moving towards neutrality. It's moving away from fear. That's not normal, air quotes, normal for cryptocurrency. So what exactly are we witnessing right now? Well, I think that there are a couple of news articles that are helping to make more sense of this. The first is from U.Today, and it talks about how Shiba Inu, Bitcoin, and Dogecoin are now accepted by the world's largest breast cancer charity, the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Now, just to be clear, this is not an endorsement of the Susan G. Komen Foundation. I personally feel that there are many charities that misappropriate funds and that do not help those who they claim to help as much as they say they will. So I've got a bit of an issue talking about charities, right? It's kind of a mixed bag. So I would ask you to please go do your due diligence when it comes to charities that you may be interested in donating to. That said, I think it's a beautiful thing. right? To give and to continue to give for the betterment of all of humanity. And I think that charities, there are some good charities out there. I don't want to call any out right now, but this is the headline for today, guys. The headline is that the Susan G. Komen Foundation now accepts cryptocurrencies. And they did so by working with a cryptocurrency donation organization, right? It's meant to be a charitable giving solution called the Giving Block. And I think this is extremely important for us to cover right now, especially the day after Christmas, moving toward New Year's Day, when it's still technically on the calendar 2021. We need to pay attention to these dates, right? If we're thinking about doing charitable giving, both, to fill our own hearts, to help uplift others, and not the least of which, to decrease our tax liability legally, then we need to pay attention to this, right? You may be flush with crypto gains and may not want to sell your crypto. This may be a way for you to put some, on the books, put some charitable giving into your tax strategy for this calendar year. So that's why we're mentioning that. Some goblin loser, I don't know, does a $2 super chat. That's so generous of you. Thank you so much for giving anything at all. I appreciate that. It says Merry Christmas and Happy Hodl Days. Much love. Much love right back to you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, some goblin loser. Here we are, guys, on back on the You Today article, and I'm going to link over directly to this solution, the Giving Block, because in my mind, that's the real headline. The Susan G. Komen Foundation is they've been around for quite some time, since the early 1980s, and they've done some good in the world, arguably, but I haven't audited their books. I don't know that I would donate to them today. I'm not sure, and I'm not telling anybody that they should or shouldn't donate to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. But I do have a bit of an issue with just blindly giving to any old organization that claims to be a charity or is legally formed as a charity. I think we do need to do our due diligence. And I think that the Giving Block, what I like about what they're doing is that they've created a solution so that the good charities can receive cryptocurrency. So let's reward them for that, shall we? All right, taking a look at their website, we see thegivingblock.com/donate. And I don't have that in the show notes yet, but I will go ahead and add it here to live comments, and I will add it to the show notes after we're done streaming. But that's available for you to take a look at, thegivingblock.com/donate. You can give of your cryptocurrency if you are flush with gains in your cryptocurrency right now without having to sell or create a taxable event, as I understand it. And they even give you some guidance as to how that works. But then you can search all the nonprofits that they work with. Take a look at this, guys. It is extensive. But they've got the Children's Hospital of Colorado Foundation, Congenital Heart Association, the Gathering Place. They got a few churches, right? It's like, there's a church in Austin, Texas, apparently, that accepts donations through crypto. So if you're a church-going person in that area, maybe this is your church. I don't know. But then several others, right? See, Mobilize Love, Unstoppable, some other ministries, right? And churches, which I think they're like, seriously, bless these people. They've got their hearts in the right place as far as accepting cryptocurrencies. I think this is the smartest thing they could do this year. But then you've got folk art, right? League of Women Voters of Florida. Okay, that just describes half of the population of the state of Florida. It's not even anything particularly unique, and it's not even like party aligned. Apparently it's just trying to get women to go out and vote in the state of Florida. But they accept cryptocurrency, right, as a donation. So if you feel strongly about that, maybe you can give to them. I don't know. You decide who you want to give to. But I'm seeing so many others that are here listed under the Giving Block, and it just keeps on going. Plant Savers, Solar Buddy. What? The federal government will give you a subsidy for installing solar panels, but there's a charity associated with that? Okay. 4Kids, Jerusalem Hills Therapeutic Center. Clearly, the signage is written in Hebrew. I think this is actually an Israeli charity. The Oregon Humane Society, all kinds of places where you can donate. So do look through that, guys, please. That is my big ask as far as there being some kind of a charitable drive for today's video. Typically, I will try to align with something that is native to the YouTube platform, such as the Team Seas initiative with Mr. Beast. And Mark Rober are trying to clean up some specific areas of the ocean. But this, I feel pretty strongly about, guys. Do try to vet some kind of a charitable organization that you feel strongly enough about that you can give. And I strongly urge you, consider giving something, anything. Consider making that be the way that you organically, air quotes, take profits from your crypto gains, and you also decrease your tax liability legally, right? You legally give Uncle Sam, if you're a United States citizen or whatever the IRS equivalent is in your country, you legally decrease your tax burden and you help other people in need. But you got to do that due diligence of ensuring that the charity that you give to is actually making a difference in the world. Unfortunately, that is the hardest part. Still, it pains me to say that, but I think it's worth the effort. You can definitely bless the lives of other people, right? We can help each other. And I think that crypto gains help. They help a lot, especially with services like this. So thegivingblog.com/donate has that all listed there. And that just, kind of warms my heart to be able to give them some free coverage right now and talk about that as we're nearing the end of the year. These are the last few days you could do it though. So if you're interested in doing this sort of thing, please do your due diligence fast, immediately, in fact, and try to bless the lives of other people by giving to a charity that you feel strongly about and that you've thoroughly vetted. If you find something good, of course, also, and you're watching this after the fact, please leave a comment down below and let me know, were you able to find a charity listed here at thegivingblog.com that you felt good about, that you genuinely believed was doing the right thing with the funds that were given to them? So yeah, that's what I'm most interested in hearing about. Stereo 2 comes in and asks a question. Let me move over to the next bit of news while I pull that up on screen, and says, Merry Christmas. I do have a question. Is there an affordable node to run with potential in 2022? Thank you. Ooh, Stereo 2, that's a very, very deep question. It's a very loaded question. And I think that there are several different cryptocurrencies that we favor and that we give a lot of coverage to on this channel. I'm going to defer that to our live comments right now and ask our live audience, our community, to respond to that. Does anybody in our community feel like they've been seeing good returns on a node that they're already running, a master node or a service node that they're already running, that they've seen good returns on, and that they think may be able to continue into 2022? I think it'd be great for us to get more opinions than just mine, and I don't want to come across as shilling. Plus, I will be covering a different project a little later on, more in depth, that I think may offer good returns if you already have a bit of crypto collateral lying around that you want to flip into something that offers a little more yield. So yeah. Seeing all kinds of great comments already come in from anonymous miner, such as a pre-search node, about $500 to spin up. We'll see more that comes in as we go throughout the live stream. But phenomenal question. Thank you for asking, Stereo 2. Definitely appreciate that. And thank you for answering, anonymous miner and others. Stereo 2 says, I know Gala is crazy. Yeah, Gala. Oh my gosh, Gala Games. Shoot, you guys, play to earn is taking over the world. I'm going to try to get my kids involved. We talked about it for a while, involved in doing some play to earn crypto NFT gaming. We're still kind of shell shocked from the Christmas holiday and trying to figure out how to set up our life space, right? After having that sort of like commercial, hurricane, right? Consumer hurricane hit our place and our life. So we're trying to figure that out. But right now, guys, go ahead and give him some feedback, or give them some feedback. All right. So here we are on the dailyhodl.com talking about how Cynthia Loomis, a Republican senator from Wyoming and a personal hero of mine, frankly, I'm just going to say it, maybe not a personal friend yet. We'll get there, I think, eventually. I'm going to have to go and visit Wyoming and go knock on her office door and just shake her hand. Seriously, this lady's done so much for cryptocurrency in the state of Wyoming. But she has proposed for 2022 a bill that would change how crypto assets are taxed and categorized. And a senior official for Loomis told Bloomberg that if this is passed, the legislation would give guidelines to regulatory groups on how to properly classify digital assets, offer protections for investors, and regulate stablecoins. Now, I know you may be thinking, oh my gosh, that's all we need now. More is more regulation. Thanks so much, Seth. What are you doing? You're trying to regulate the life out of crypto. I don't know if that's the case. I think that what I've seen from Senator Loomis has been mostly good faith action in favor of Bitcoin in particular as sort of the de facto gold standard within cryptocurrencies. What I'm saying is she seems to get it. She really does. She really seems to get it as far as how to advocate for cryptocurrency and decrease the amount of onerous regulation that's taking place both in her state and at the federal level. The infrastructure bill. She was one of the first and loudest opponents against the infrastructure bill, for example, because she knew how broadly worded it was and how dangerous it could be. So I do think that Senator Loomis, I think she's one of the good guys. I think she's on our side. I really do. And unfortunately, right, from where she's sitting, right, in a seat of government, what she sees when it comes to a financial instrument like cryptocurrencies is an opportunity to try to shape the future in favor, maybe a bit of regulators, on the side of regulators and government. That's just going to be a reality for as long as we have government the size that it is. I think we're going to continue to see that there are people who have government jobs pushing for regulation. But I think she's really struck a balance between how long a leash the cryptocurrency industry needs to be able to continue to innovate. So I'm a fan of Cynthia Loomis. I really am. Senator Loomis, if I were living in Wyoming, you'd have my vote. That's all there is to that. But says it would create a brand new agency under the direction of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC, and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, to supervise the crypto market, though no name for the organization was given or proposed. Loomis, who bought $50,000 to $100,000 worth of Bitcoin back in August, according to an SEC disclosure filing. So that's the other thing. She's got skin in the game, and she's admitted it because she has to disclose that to the SEC, had previously made statements recommending Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. Guys, she was trying to create a U.S. Treasury with Bitcoin in it. She's been recommending it the entire time. Again, like it's more evidence of her being one of the good actors. She says, I encourage people to buy and hold. I encourage them to save Bitcoin for their retirement, their future. That's because as Congress spends trillions and trillions flooding our economy and the world economy with US dollars, there's no way that we cannot debase the value of the US dollar. Though this may be the first time a comprehensive bill to regulate cryptocurrencies will be proposed to the U.S. Senate, Loomis made strides in June when she, along with 5 other senators, launched the Senate's Bipartisan Financial Innovation Caucus as a way to pioneer innovation in financial technology, consumer protection, and digital assets. She says, the United States is the world leader in the global financial system, but that position is a privilege, not a right. She's correct. Cryptocurrency is dangerous freedom. It does not respect boundaries. It does not respect borders. So, yeah. She says it's also a huge, often underappreciated benefit to every American. We need to work together to bring our financial system into the 21st century in order to maintain our leadership and ensure that future Americans can enjoy the same opportunity and prosperity that we experience today. Spot on, right? Very vague, but spot on, at least in that section of what she's trying to propose, that if she is working on behalf of the American people, it's her job, full stop, it's her job to ensure that cryptocurrencies are considered in a way favorable to the interests of Americans, and certainly Americans and allies of the United States of America. So, yeah, it's kind of a tricky thing there, right? It's a tightrope walk to get people to regulate cryptocurrencies without choking the life out of the industry related to it. But I think that I think she's one of my favorite people in that space. Moving on with the current news cycle, guys, we've got Plan B and the stock to flow model, and he's doubling down. Plan B is saying, nope, sure, maybe it broke a little bit, but I'm sticking to it. Stock to flow works. What do you guys think? Before I cover a little bit of this, we're not going to stay here too long. What do you think of the stock to flow model? Do you think it's actually legitimate? I've been asked by people who are who are sort of enamored of the quants in the space, quant analysts and technical analysts and such, and haven't really heard what we've been saying on this show for a while, that it's more fluid than that, and there could be greater manipulation than that, and it might not really work out if people think that technical analysis and quantitative analysis, that they somehow can dictate where markets go. But I keep getting asked, right, especially by former like tech bros and stock bros, right, fintech guys. They're always asking about like, what do you think about stock to flow? Because it's just an easy way to transpose something onto the markets and think, well, for sure, Bitcoin's going to hit this. But I don't think so. You tell me in the comment section, do you think stock to flow will continue to play out well, or do you think stock to flow is kind of broken? Tell me in the comments if you don't mind. Your chat is on screen, guys. Do be on your best behavior. All right, so it says Bitcoin failed to hit $100,000 this year, so this is not an accurate picture of how stock to flow performed. So here we go. Mr. Whale he kept the receipt and tried to take Plan B to task, right? Or 100 trillion USD is the handle on Twitter. Says, if stock to flow will be invalidated, then I will be the first to say so, unless others will beat me to it. By December 2021, we will know, as I have always said. So that is not true. Stock to flow model is a simple linear regression. Parameters, stats, and bounds are in the article. Everyone can replicate and verify. I will call stock to flow invalidated if we have not reached $100,000 by December this year. Well, we've been talking about it for a while, guys. And here we are almost at the end of December, almost into January 2021, and we haven't hit 100K. And all the laser eyes in the world haven't forced the price of Bitcoin to go to 100K, right? Unfortunately. The Unboxing Project says, MineYourBiz, hey, not streaming in the morning today. Yay, I get to see this one. Hey, I appreciate that. You know, that's the funny thing is that it's always 5 o'clock somewhere, right? And that principle holds true both sides of the day, right? It's always 5 a.m. somewhere. We've got a little bit of an issue in that for this particular show, we have a very international appeal. And, you know, I'm very humbled by that. I'm very pleased to see that we have people tuning in from across the pond and from Oceania and from all over the globe. That really does warm my heart, and especially from South America. I love to see that across the Americas and into Canada, we've got viewership and we've got community. That's the word I'm looking for, guys. So thank you for being here when you had time. Thank you for saying that as well. All right, guys. So back over here to Mr. Whale. Kept the receipt. We didn't hit 100K. Says, yes, we will have to be at least above 100K by end of this year to keep stock to flow model on the rails. And then here on December 18th, Plan B said, Bitcoin needs a small miracle for 100K Christmas. Will I ditch the stock to flow model if this does not happen? Nah, I actually like being at the lower bands. In fact, I published a model at the lower bands in March 2019 with Bitcoin below 4K. So there are some sort of like confidence bounds that Plan B is talking about there, some bands that it can perform within in order for him to feel confident that this works, right? For him to have that conviction that this stock to flow model will just continue exactly as planned. You've heard me say on this channel that we typically anticipate something of about an order of magnitude, roughly adding 1 0 to Bitcoin after every halving, roughly. But then the numerator, right? There we go. Yeah, the numerator there, the beginning, that whole integer, right? Is it a 1 or a 2? Is it $200,000 or is it $100,000? We've had some news outlets saying that we should look for $400,000 Bitcoin in this run. You know, I don't even dare guess that, because we saw last bull run, yes, it did jump up by an order of magnitude. It went to 5 figures. We saw 5-figure Bitcoin for the first time ever at the last halving, and it jumped all the way to nearly $20,000. It's actually 19,000 and change, if we're being honest, but we always say 20 because it's easier. But about 19,000 and change, right? Roughly for Bitcoin, it jumped pretty high, nearly $20,000. And prior to that, I think it had only ever gone up to maybe 1,000, over 1,000, but not way up to that like $4,000 figure. And then, you know, it found bottom support at under 4,000, but not below 3,000. It does some crazy things is what I'm saying. We anticipated, though, that this time it would jump up to 6-figure Bitcoin because it was a 5-figure Bitcoin last time. And I think that's what Plan B is saying here as well, but in a different way. That said, guys, the models are all broken. This guy, Plan B, was talking about this stuff. Very publicly, and sure, us retail, we were listening, but you know who else was listening? JP Morgan, all the big players, Deutsche Bank, right? Barclays, everybody else in the world was listening and paying attention. So we have these same targets all around the world, and there's been intense interest in interfering with Bitcoin's rise and suppressing the price so that bigger players, as the market cap kind of grows slowly, bigger players can get involved, take a position while it's a bit cheaper. And that's, unfortunately, those are the kinds of tools they're very expert at using. So it's hard for us to dissuade them. The Unboxing Project asks, MineYourBiz, do you get to write off your rigs on your taxes to offset gains? That's a great question. And what I want you to do is work with a CPA to ask how you need to structure your purchases for equipment for a home business in order to do so, because it's entirely possible. And you probably need to have a professional help you answer that question for your situation. But to answer your question as directly as possible, yes, it's very possible. And yes, you can. And yes, you do get to, air quotes, write off your rigs on your taxes to offset gains if you have everything else structured as you need to. And you really need to talk to a professional about that. Unfortunately, it's not something I can give a definitive answer on for your situation on a live stream like this, but entirely possible, yeah, to amortize the cost of equipment over a period of time. I don't know that you can do it the first year you own them, but that's why you got to talk to your tax professional. But brilliant question. Love it. Keep them coming, guys. That's awesome. So, yep, Mr. Whale, keeping the receipt here. Plan B, continue to go and kind of double down. Here we are on December 24th saying, let me be clear, November 98K, December 135K were a miss. That means the floor model has failed. Oh, there's so much, guys. I didn't mean to open that up. I'm not going to go to the Twitter post here, but you can kind of see that Plan B is kind of doubling down, keeping hope alive for Bitcoin maxis who want to believe that the stock to flow model is still sound. I don't know that I agree with this. You tell me in the comment section, guys. Moving on to our TX Street overview. Let's see if we can get this to load. Yep, right in time. We've got the current cost of an Ethereum transaction. Ooh, in US dollars, if it is any kind of an altcoin or a smart contract fee, we're looking at about $53, $54 just for transferring Ether. We're looking at about $10.50. Not great. That's really not great. I don't love that. It's not a great price to be managing Ethereum. And this is half the reason that most of my transactions I consolidated some of my holdings and I'm using side chains or I'm using other solutions in order to get my EVM transactions done at lower fees. Case in point, with Polygon, I'm going to spend pennies to do the same transaction of the native asset and of any kind of ERC20s that have been bridged over to the Polygon network. I'm not going to spend, now $56. It jumped up real time, $56 to send stablecoins. What if I only want to send $5 worth of stablecoins? What if I just want to send, $5 worth of Tether? I can't do that on Ethereum without spending 11 times as much in fees. That's crazy, right? So Polygon makes a whole lot more sense for me right now because it's a much more direct corollary to what Ethereum is doing. And it's been bound directly to Ethereum as a sidechain scaling solution. Unboxing Project says, mind your biz, no gway. It's that Matic magic. Oh yeah, love that. That's awesome. Rob Ward is saying ADA fees and XRP ain't bad. No, I agree. The fees they're really not bad there either. The stablecoin situation I think is a little bit different. The all of the token situation on Cardano, I have yet to do a proper deep dive. I don't want to be derisive or weird about it. I haven't created a very informed opinion for myself across the entire offering for Cardano right now. But I know that there's work being put in to get there. It's just not there yet as far as the full breadth of tokens offered on Ethereum right now. So that's kind of where I'm at. Anonymous Miner says Raven's fees are still almost non-existent too. And that's great. I think that's awesome for Raven, but it's got the same L1 problem that Avalanche and that Phantom had when nobody was using them, which is that nobody is using them. So Ravencoin sounds great. It looks great on paper too, but there are no stable coins as such to speak of on Ravencoin. There are assets that are, Rob is dropping some truth here too, saying as a Canadian, stable coins aren't that stable. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And we use them because they're convenient, guys, right? So that's why I bring them up, is because they are convenient. If they weren't convenient, I don't think stable coins would exist. I don't think they would have a place in cryptocurrency conversations. But there winds up being a bit of, there is a bit of convenience, right? And there is a place for stable coins still, unfortunately. Regardless of your personal views on governance and KYC and taxation and traceability and the IRS and whatever else, there's a place for them because of convenience. In the same way that there's a place for cash because of convenience. There's a place for credit cards because of convenience. There's a place for so many payment technologies because they do make somebody's life somewhere more convenient. And there are always trade-offs, unfortunately. But what I struggle with right now is that I'm not informed enough on Cardano to know what the corollary would be for me to try to try to deal in some kind of a stable store, specifically vis-a-vis stable coins, and make payment with stable coins on Cardano. And with XRP, same, right? I see that it's the native underlying asset only as it is, as things are right now. And then same with Ravencoin. Hey, I've created assets on Ravencoin. It didn't make them worth anything. And restricted assets, I could go back and mark them as restricted if I wanted to, but that doesn't make them worth anything, right? We do need to see that there are a greater number of protocols that are participating on those networks and declaring, right, we're going to create this amount of value here because we believe in it that much. And I don't care what it is. It doesn't have to be the US dollar. It can be some kind of a gold representation of gold. I don't care. Or precious metals or precious stones or semi-precious stones, right? Like, yeah, let me send tourmaline coin, right? Like, I don't care. But we have to do something that's beyond just like, yeah, it's ADA and XRP, in my opinion. That said, I do want to do a deeper dive. I do want to understand better how we can kind of grow into some of these lower fee environments and make them worth our time, right? And the attention. But back over to Ethereum, guys, the situation is just like dire. And there it is. It's volatile too, right? It's now it's only 9 times as much as the transfer I was going to make. Over here in Bitcoin land, guys, it's only 46 cents to send any amount of Bitcoin. That could be billions of dollars. That could be pennies if you wanted. Unfortunately, it doesn't make sense when you send a sub-dollar transaction on Bitcoin, right? It's not great for micro payments is what I'm saying. You wouldn't go to the store and buy a pack of gum with Bitcoin today or a cup of coffee. This doesn't make sense, right? But there are some solutions being built on top. I don't have a particularly high opinion of Lightning Network at the moment. I apologize, guys. That's just where I'm at right now. The Unboxing Project says ADA is going to explode when more functionality goes live. Hey, and that's just it. I'm looking forward to that. I hope that's totally how it plays out. I really do. I hope that's how it plays out. So far, I just haven't seen evidence yet, but I do need to do a lot more homework to know for sure. Let's see. He says, Litecoin is the best way I've found to move around on exchanges and wallets. For me, at least. Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. Litecoin is pretty seamless to use. It's unfortunate that, it kind of doesn't get taken as seriously in more broad circles, but yeah, it is a joy to work with. All right, guys, that's the current fee situation. Taking a look at the Bitcoin price and moving on in our content lineup. The chopsticks have failed us, just like Plan B and the stock to flow model. How dare you, chopsticks? It looks like maybe we're correcting back into this lower yellow range, but we definitely did slow down as promised on the last live stream. And we found support at that last touching candle, the bottom of that last touching green candle, and on the daily, and then have moved upwards back out of this channel into the red. This is the area where I've personally said, I don't know about dollar cost averaging at these prices up here above $50,000. Doesn't make sense to me. And we see on the MACD, there's been a convergence, and now we're diverging again. I think we're continuing. No, actually, it's pulling back. So we're converging again back towards bearishness. But we've been in a bullish section here on this histogram since about the 19th of December, right? And it's been growing. Yeah. The Unboxing Project says broken chopstick, scoop no noodles. It's true. Stock to flow. Now the chopstick model. Gosh darn it, what kind of quantitative analysis or TA can we rely on? None of them. That's, guys, I admit it readily. Certainly not mine, right? Like, this is not a technical analysis show. Let me red screen you just so we're totally clear. For anybody who's tuning in right now, lurking, we're not here to actually give you legal, financial, or business advice, nor are we here to actually chart for you. You'll notice there aren't any targets here. There are just ranges. We're just describing what's happened in the past and how comfortable I am in moving into the future with certain price, certain price strategies like dollar cost averaging. That's about it. The Unboxing Project also drops some wisdom there in the chat. Appreciate that. Got some great community building there going on, guys. Appreciate you. By the way, if you are lurking, please do smash like and then subscribe. Make sure you click on that bell icon as well, so you have all notifications turned on and you know when we go live for content like this and our Gem Hunter content. Guys, I cannot speak highly enough of the Gem Hunter content. We're exposing this audience to projects that maybe they've not seen before and that maybe you thought were, you had a question mark about. And we're trying to vet as many projects as we possibly can as fast as possible. So yeah, it's still important. We are still in number go up territory as evidenced by the chart, right? Like we are not in a depressed market yet. We are not in a bear market yet. Little movements like this do not equal a bear market. So that much is true. Let's go ahead and check out our chopsticks again. I'm going to go ahead and redefine a range right here. This is way too broad, but I'm going to create a top line right here. And I'm going to create, I think, an ascending triangle. Probably not appropriate, but I'm going to create a, no, that's not right either. Gosh darn it. What am I doing? I'm just throwing chopsticks against the wall like spaghetti because they are chopsticks. It's what one does. If you're not eating your spaghetti with chopsticks, by the way, you're a heathen. Yeah, I said it. Own that stuff. You can own that. There you go. And Rob Ward says, I still see higher lows. Yeah, right. That's totally true. The entire market is seeing higher lows. Absolutely accurate. So I actually don't have anything particularly solid to build this off of, but this move right here, if it does continue, it's not going to continue, I doubt. But let's see, we've almost got something that looks like an ascending triangle. Not quite. I don't see this holding at all. And again, this is literally me spitballing, right, guys? But if we see the mid 50,000s, then I will be happy. That's all I'm going to say about that chart for today. Is it a target? No, it's not. They're two chopsticks on a board that doesn't even actually fully close in the ascending triangle, but we're going to pretend like it's somewhere in the mid $50,000 range. Is that accurate? Man, I don't know. But here's the thing. Plan B has been telling you we'd see $100,000 Bitcoin before Christmas, just after Thanksgiving, right? Yet here we are. So I'm leaving that alone for right now. This is a public chart. You can take a look at it. You can throw Rotten Tomatoes over on tradingview.com. The chart is published down below in the comment section or in the description. Some Goblin Loser I don't know says ascending chopsticks. Yes, I like this. I think I should probably start making some t-shirts about this. Not to sell, just to wear, because, I'll make fun of myself, thank you, and I will not charge you for it. But moving back into our main content, guys, taking a look at DeFi Llama. Got a little ahead of myself. Got so excited. I kind of aspirated some of my drink here. TVL, we've got Ethereum at the top of the list. Terra Luna in second place, displacing Binance. What? This is a first. $3 billion of TVL has made its way into Terra Luna and displaced Binance Smart Chain as the number 2 spot for smart chains. Here's my concern, and you've heard me say it for a while. TVL ain't the full picture. It ain't the full story. Let's take a look at Terra Luna and see what more we can discover here on DeFi Llama. All right, jumping back into this representation. We just launched a cross-chain NFT dashboard. Ooh, nice. That's awesome. I'm going to take a look at that soon. Maybe we can make that part of a play-to-earn series, just understanding what actually travels, what actually is portable. From one chain to the next. But here's Terra Luna only. $21 billion fully diluted, I guess, across all assets. I would have to guess that's the way this is being measured, but we also don't know if this is fully diluted or just what's currently active in the markets and currently emitted in the markets. But we've got a total value locked of $21 billion, up by 1.9% over the last 24 hours. And here are the protocols that are participating. Let's take a look at just the exclusives. All right, we've got several exclusives. Anchor, TerraSwap, Astroport, Stater, Pylon Protocol, Spectrum Protocol, Nexus Protocol, Apollo DAO, which apparently is up and coming, 70 million there, Loop Finance, Start Terra, Low Terra. Wow. Okay, but the biggest one here is Anchor. Oh, that's so funny. That's so cute. And Anchor is 45% dominant on this chain. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see that we would have such an albatross here. Massive, massive market cap on Anchor that I think is really swaying all of these outcomes here. But $9 billion. Let's take a closer look at Anchor right now. So ANC. First off, they're a Terra exclusive, which is part of what's got them so much of that market dominance and pushed it ahead of projects like Polygon. Do I think this is definitely the way it should be? I mean, yeah, I don't know about that. Questions coming in from the Unboxing Project. I've been loaning with BlockFi for a while, but I feel higher gains are possible with yield farming or other DeFi projects. Any that you would recommend for Moonshot? No financial advice. I appreciate you framing it that way. Yeah, there are several other projects that may be a better option there. BlockFi is okay. I see a lot of infighting between BlockFi, Celsius, and Nexo, right? So bit of an issue there. Some Goblin Loser is asking the real question. No, we're going to get to that content in just a minute. Thanks for asking. But as far as there being validator nodes that are reasonably priced, or master nodes, or service nodes, or whatever else, man, I do not have a full breakdown of the pricing for various validator nodes versus the current APYs or APRs. So we should probably take a look at a resource that gives us a better breakdown of how that looks right now. But I can almost guarantee you that, yes, there are going to be some better Moonshot validator node plays in the near future. We're looking at some platforms right now, for example, that have got serious promise, right? So across all of the other smart contract platforms, right? Ethereum is going to move to proof of stake. Will it definitely be worth it? Will it definitely outperform BlockFi or other lending platforms? I don't know that it will. Or Terra for that matter, staking your Terra or staking your Solana or staking your Avalanche, Phantom, or Polygon. I don't know that's the case. I don't think that it's necessarily going to outperform any of these, but then you do have the ongoing risk of impermanent loss, depending on whether or not you're staking and you're trying to yield farm with your staked assets there, or if you are on a platform that allows for staking derivatives. It's a very deep rabbit hole. So I'm loath to give an offhand comment about which one I think would be a good option to go with. But I am going to say that it's very clear, even though we're primarily a proof of work show, we talk about mining all the time. It's very safe to say proof of stake smart contract networks, they are dominant right now. Yes, Ethereum is most dominant in terms of TVL, in terms of protocol support, but we're looking at proof of stake very soon. So it's safe to say that proof of stake is the way of smart contracts and is the way of DeFi. And I think that diversifying into some kind of a moonshot position with a couple of them, I think it would be smart. I think it would be smart. Taking the entire nut out of a slow, steady lending yield protocol like BlockFi or Celsius or Nexo or others. I don't have a dog in that fight. I'm not promoting any of them for sure. I'm not paid by any of them to say anything. But I also don't have strong convictions about any one of them. But having some moonshot money in some kind of a validator node or somewhere else, or moonshot coins somewhere else, it's smart. It really is just that simple. It's smart. So don't have a recommendation right now, whether it's financial advice or not. I just don't have a strong feeling about one specific project. I think if I did have strong feelings about any one, it would probably be, according to protocol support, Polygon, because it's still in that number 3 spot and it's hungry for the number 2 spot in a way that BSC, sure, it's hungry too, but yeah, in the way that BSC is hungry for, but they're becoming increasingly centralized with a lack of bridges. Yes, Solana is performing very strongly, but the protocol support is not growing as fast as Polygon, right? We're in the 140s as far as protocol support. Avalanche is also growing extremely fast, extremely. But they're neck and neck, right? Sorry, Phantom and Polygon are neck and neck in terms of TVL. Avalanche has much higher TVL, but then you see the 7-day change, you see that popping off with Polygon and Phantom. They've had more headroom for growth. And I've been talking off Polygon for a while. I'm not even going to apologize for it, guys. 15% up. How long have I been talking about Polygon? And here it is, at least in these top 4, outperforming the others. Top 5, no, Phantom's, kicking butt. Absolutely melting faces there, right? So yeah, there's quite a bit that quite a bit of growth still left, I think, for Polygon. Shout out to Crypto Wendy O, who did a piece on Matic potentially crossing $3. That's her target for it, and I absolutely support that. I think it's got more headroom for more growth. That said, how do you meaningfully participate in Polygon? Man, I do not have a strong recommendation there. Jermaine says non-EVM have a disadvantage when it comes to protocols and TVL, right? That's true, actually. Let's take a look at this list once again, guys. And thank you, Jermaine, for asking. But taking a look at this list. Okay, so we've got Ethereum, BSC, Polygon, Avalanche, Phantom. They're, at least as far as protocol support, they're in the top right there. Arbitrum, EVM. Solana, non-EVM, but then Hecko, Harmony, XDAI, and several Optimism, right? We've got so many, I think Celo too, and Chronos. Technically, they're EVM chains, right? So you've got 10 or more out of this top 15 that are EVM style chains, because it's as simple as doing an RPC. Like, as far as the code goes, it's as simple as changing a couple of small parameters, and then you've suddenly got support on that protocol or on another network. Whereas with something like Solana, you actually have to entirely rebase all of your code. You have to work in a very different way, and you have to bridge your assets over to Solana. Same is true of Polkadot, Moonriver, Kusama, and others of the testnets from Polkadot and other style, like different style chains. So Smart BCH, okay, cool. They're working. Cosmos ecosystem and IBC ecosystem projects, I'll say, are maybe a bit of an exception, because you do have some tie-ins to EVM that allow you to more easily on-ramp into the Cosmos ecosystem. So there is a little bit of a loophole there, but there are bridges that exist for all kinds of other projects. So maybe we'll see with Solana, for example, that Wormhole and other style technologies become much more seamless in terms of how you bridge into Solana and out of Solana. We might see that there's much better support than ever before. But EVM right now, yes, far easier. Huge sort of home court advantage in getting assets and protocols bridged onto EVM style chains. So yeah, it's great. Jermaine says, thanks for confirming what I thought. Seth, appreciate it. Happy holidays to yourself and your family. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. Boo, boo, boo. All right. Got all those questions, I think, answered so far. Going to move on to the main event. Go over some GPU mining profitability, put our cost basis for power up to 14 cents, guys. We're going to quickly move through this. I don't want to spend too long on our GPU mining profitability, but currently below $6 of profit on the RTX 3090. However, up just a tiny bit. So that's a bit of welcome news, a Christmas miracle, if you will, over on Team Green. Radeon 7, just over $5, and the top winners are both Ethereum and Flux. Heck yeah, you love to see it. Those parallel assets just kicking butt, and Flux within not too far behind Ethereum, actually, on the 3090. Looks like Team Green across the board is slaying on Flux. It's in that leaderboard across several different card profiles, but some other notable coins would be Ergo, far less profit, but Flux is within striking distance of Ethereum. So people who are considering it might be a good choice for you. 3080 Ti is showing profit on Raven, which is awesome. Strong fundamental project. I've talked about my concerns with Raven, but I have no problems with it, right? If people want to mine it, if we want to craft it into the project that does have that broad protocol support and does have broad assets issued on it so it can become sort of a basis for DeFi in the future, then great. Let's make that happen. But I mean, if it's not happening, let's not delude ourselves either, right? So just saying, both can be true. Moving on down the list, we've got for Team Red, Firo showing decent profit. Actually not too far behind Ethereum. Again, phenomenal project. Shout out to Ruben Yap and the team out there. Porm and Insom, who just kind of like has that Midas touch with cryptocurrency projects. But 6090 or 6900 also showing Flux. Not like so close. It hurts. Look at that, guys. $3.46 on Ethereum, $3.10 on Flux. That's unreal. Okay. Zelhash Flux well below over on the 3060 Ti, but not too bad. Guys, your LHR models as well are going to be showing a little better profit on a few of these alternatives to Ethereum, but got Conflux, unfortunately showing a little more than Raven over here on the 3070 Ti, but then Firo, Flux, Conflux, sorry, Cornflakes, Zero, Firo, Ryo, Conceal, the usual suspects, guys, and Ethereum Classic as we get down towards our 4 gig cards. Funny, 2060 Super is yeah, just your Ethereum style, right? Your ETH hash mining coins. So Ethereum and then Ethereum Classic. Kind of interesting. We don't see Music Coin or Ellaism again for some of these cards. Flux. What else? Anything new? Pretty much the same ones. Then Zero. Nope, no other surprises, guys. No other surprises at all, other than seeing Ergo profitable on Polaris Edition cards. Kind of crazy. The Unboxing Project says, nice crash is always number 2, huh? Yeah, unfortunately it is. But you guys, I have strong feelings about that. Definitely, if you're considering just renting out your mining profit, take what you see there for NiceHack as a baseline for what you can expect for profitability on miningrogrentals.com. If you want to support the channel, you can follow the link down in the description. That's just mrr.myb.lol. And that supports the channel through a referral link. But it's much more personal. It lets you vet exactly who is renting your hash rate. And a bit like Uber, you can decide to rent to them or not to rent to them again in the future. And you can get paid directly by them. So I'm a much bigger fan of that model than NiceHack. It was confirmed. I'm just going to say it. Confirmed that NiceHash was used as a hash rate nuke, a hash rate attack to 51% attack certain coins. And that happens when all the hash rate is aggregated that way. Pooled mining is actually quite dangerous, and NiceHash is proof of that. So I do not recommend that anyone use NiceHash. I don't care what the other popular mining content channels say. I don't care if they wear, funny costumes and outfits and try to play dumb and say, this is how you're going to make the most money. Doesn't matter. We have a moral obligation sometimes too. And, I think that contributing to a network like that, it goes against our moral obligation as people, right? Like, do no harm. If you can, the non-aggression principle, right? Like, try not to harm other people and networks if we can. I guess that's why, even though I have strong feelings about Ravencoin, I try not to completely dump on it verbally, because I think that it does show promise, and I have talked to their development team, and they seem like good people, right? So just saying, NiceHash, the fact that it shows up on this list, in my mind, doesn't make it a good bet. It just happens to be in the profit right now, but I don't think it deserves to be mentioned really for very much. So anyway, that R9 384 gig back in the money by a tiny little bit, still below 20 cents in profit, but on flux. Good to see that. That's your GPU mining profit roundup. Let's start on our profit for these portfolios with the ASIC mining portfolio. And I want to make special mention of our sponsor today, GMT. You've heard me call it Go Mining Token in the past because it was initially launched by Go Mining, not a cloud mining operator, but a colocation operator. So they actually have mining gear. You can confirm that they have mining gear. They can show you the number of different kinds of equipment that they have, and they can prove to you that they're online. So that's why I felt really good about that. They've rebranded entirely to GMT, and you can find them at gmt.io. For the rest of this video, if you want to use, as you see down below, the promo code BIZ, B-I-Z _ GMT, you can over on gmt.io, and that will entitle you to 200% mining rewards in the next month. From today moving forward into 2022, that over a month, if you use that code and claim it at any time during the next month, you will, from that point forward, have a month of 200% mining rewards on their platform if you purchase through them. So just so you know, this live stream is paired with a special promotional offer by them. And I feel really good about promoting that because they offered that to our audience here, to our community, in exchange for me covering more in depth what they're doing. So I do feel pretty good about that. Let's see. All right, moving back into the content though, guys. There's that reminder card down below my video. You see, just skip below that MYB phone. You can see GMT.io and the promo code there. But GMT token is at the top of the list. Why? Because it's actually outperformed every other ASIC mining coin that we've put into this portfolio to date, right? So we're going to go ahead and cover the markets now, but I just want to kind of make mention of that the top coin in this category, or token in this category, is not actually ASIC mineable, but it represents a bit of, a collateralized mining effort or cloud mining in what I think is the right way to do cloud mining. It's tokenized. Like, why haven't we been doing this for years? It makes sense, right? We could do the same thing with other mutual funds. We could do the same thing with other kinds of real estate investment trusts or various other kinds of joint investment vehicles that are being done. We could tokenize a lot more. We really could tokenize and decentralize a lot more. But it's really good to see that GMT is doing that in the cloud mining space. I'm not going to name any competitors of theirs, but I am going to say there have been several other cloud mining operations that they didn't have their priorities straight, and they didn't prove that they had all the hash rate first to be able to launch something like this. So GMT token, I think, had to lay all that groundwork before they could do something like this. But it's exciting to see that if they're going to do it, they're doing it right. The Unboxing Project says it's like an ETF for mining, LOL. Yeah, sure, if you will. I like that this is the way they went about it, though. I don't like things like hash rate futures, speculative stuff where it's like, dude, nah, you can't do that. Mining is such a different animal. You can talk about what it's done. You can't always predict exactly where it's going, but you can get direct exposure by buying equipment, or indirect exposure by buying certain assets, or indirect exposure by purchasing a rental contract at somebody's co-location facility, or, I don't think that Red Panda Mining ultimately went this direction, but we chatted about it before. Apparently he's thought about maybe doing a co-location facility, which I think is great. Either him or Son of a Tech. I think I would trust these guys if they chose to go that route. So you can get indirect exposure that way too. But a tokenized contract for cloud mining is kind of something in between, right? Like, purchasing the token helps increase the treasury so that they can, if it's newly emitted tokens, helps increase the treasury so they can buy more equipment. Buying more equipment creates more dividends, which are paid out to token holders, which allows them to earn more. I think it's the way that this sort of thing should have been done from day one. Bernie says, Merry Sunday, Seth. Hope you had a good one, bro. I did. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a very relaxing day after Christmas Sunday. And I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you all as well. For those who don't celebrate the holiday, obviously, I don't mean any harm by it. And if you did think I meant any harm by it, obviously you've got thick skin. That's why I love your face, man. You're the best. But thanks for being here. Thanks for saying that. All right, guys, moving down the list, though, our biggest loser in the ASIC mining category is unfortunately still Pirate Chain at $1.30. Not quite at that value buy of 80 cents, but it is kind of in still the value buy territory. Quickly going through our portfolios, guys. We're going to skip the rest of the portfolio actually till tomorrow. Let's go ahead and let's do a deep dive on GMT right now. I've got some of these tabs open. Why not? Let's take a quick shot, guys. This, I've mentioned it before. This stream is sponsored by GMT. You know that when I do have any kind of a sponsored interest, I disclose that to you. I feel really strongly about that. I don't ever want to do anything that makes you think that I'm trying to be deceptive or that I'm trying to force garbage down anybody's throat. No, I just want this to be something where if I do have a sponsor for the show, we'll talk about it and I'll let you know. Yeah, it's not. Some Goblin Loser is feeling verklempt. You know what I'm going to do? Just for some Goblin Loser, we're going to take a look at our FPGA mining portfolio in just a minute here. But let's take a look at GMT. Let's go back to our charts at the end of the end of the show, so we kind of round things off with a bit of market talk across the other portfolios. Thanks for letting me know. Squeaky wheel gets the oil, guys. Don't ever say that I never did anything for you. And thank you, some Goblin Loser, for being vocal. But taking a look here, guys. Here's gmt.io. This is the English translation. It is available in several localized versions. As you can see, we've got our German, French, Italian, Portuguese, Russian, Turkish, several Eastern languages, no Spanish, but that's okay. It's totally okay, guys. Definitely Spanish at the top of the list. I jumped right past it. But it's an international offering. Typical disclaimers apply. You need to take a look at the legality of purchasing such a token where you live. I won't do that for you. you need to read up on all of the caveat emptors that exist here. So don't get wrecked by not reading. Right? All the links are available in the description of this video for you to do full research, including the socials of GMT, so you can join the community and ask the more difficult questions or the more esoteric questions that only the community would know how to answer. So if you have an interest in GMT, I strongly recommend that you go take a look at that. If you already feel like you know enough about GMT based on our coverage of it, and you just want to have exposure, and you're ready to do your own research, I strongly recommend that you go to gmt.io and you use the promo code you see down below my video. That will entitle you to 200% rewards based on what they typically pay out. So it helps me, but to prove to them that they should work with me, and it helps you to get higher rewards. All right, guys, moving on. This is their main page. All right, so this is the one and only name of the project is GMT Token. GMT eases the biggest problems of mining, like buying expensive equipment and spending electricity. It's backed by real computing power, gives users instant access to Bitcoin mining, and the reward for mining in Bitcoin is accrued daily to the user's wallets. You actually have to register an EVM wallet. GMT is listed on several major exchanges like Uniswap on the DEX side, 1inch, SushiSwap, as well as PancakeSwap for the BEP20 version of the token. And then centralized exchanges like MEXC Global, Bittrex, BitGlobal, HitBTC, XMO, BitBuyBox, CoinsBit, Crex24, LBank, and La Token. There are several of these guys, if you're not familiar, are not available to US citizens. And again, you need to do the research of your own territory where you live to see the legality of being involved in such an offering. But then it's also available on secure hardware wallets. Certainly, if you are holding it in MetaMask, you can back your MetaMask wallet with Trezor and Ledger. And I strongly recommend that, and then in a market like this one, that you keep all of your EVM style holdings off of a hot wallet. Do not keep them in an unbacked MetaMask wallet. Make sure that you've connected a Trezor or a Ledger or some other hardware device that is fully supported by MetaMask. Actually, it's really only Trezor and Ledger, but make sure that you're backing your security with a signing device. Okay, don't just hold it in MetaMask. It's not enough. If you're just tuning in, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being subscribed, smashing all the buttons, guys. All the clicks, they all count, and obviously, it means a lot more when it comes from you. I love your face. You're the reason I make this media, guys. Thank you for doing all that stuff as you arrive. Gordon Murray's in the chat says, "Hola, amigos. Bienvenido." Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. But guys, back on the main page, there's token burning. With the purchase of new equipment, GMT introduces new computing power. Then they issue new tokens backed by that power and burn part of the tokens. The released capacity is redistributed among the entire volume of GMT tokens. It results in an increase of supply and power, which directly impacts the increase in mining rewards. It's better than cloud mining, guys. And you've heard me say it in my words. Here's some cribs notes that I've got as well. GMT is more profitable than traditional mining and cloud mining. With cloud mining, you have to mine for a limited time. If you buy GMT, there's really no time limit. You can own the token, which is also involved in mining Bitcoin for an unlimited period of time, which kind of makes sense provided the tokenomics are adjusted correctly, as mentioned before, and burned correctly to account for the accrual of new equipment, right? It's a bit like buying a GPU. If I buy a GPU or if I buy an ASIC, well, I only buy this once until it's broken or I have to service it or it's moved on in the fleet. But if I sell it and I replace it, well, that's the same capital being recirculated, right? So I really only buy this GPU once and then it mines for as long as I'm willing to mine it or it's profitable. As long as the cost basis for power of GMT is good, they're going to buy once and it's going to continue to mine ongoing. So that does make sense to just tokenize it. It really does. And as equipment needs to be circulated out of production, then you manage all of the fleet, and then you manage the tokenomics to match it. The Unboxing Project asks, MineYourBiz is at a 2080 Ti. No, that's actually an older 1060 6 gig because they're still profitable. Just proving my point, what I'm talking about right now. You can buy something and have it mine over years several years. And your question from before, provided you work with a licensed professional, you may be able to write that off within that time frame and continue to mine profitably. Mining is a pretty amazing strategy as far as acquiring more crypto. And I love the way that GMT has laid out their tokenized version of cloud mining, right? Tokenized mining, they call it. But yeah, you can basically hold it for an unlimited amount of time, at least as long as they're in operation. Now they got some updates. The KYC process has become easier and faster. Users don't have to fill in huge forms and wait for days. They've added the new bridge function to help easily exchange between ERC20 and BEP20 standards. GMT became the 30th member of the Bitcoin Mining Council. Let's take a look at this. Here's a news article that is linked to down in the description of this video. But GMT became a member of the Bitcoin Mining Council. This is back in November. The 30th member of the Bitcoin Mining Council, along with Core Scientific, Hive, Argo, BlockCap, Hut8, Marathon Digitize Holdings, Riot, Galaxy Digital, and 20 other companies. So they're a member of that big league. Now I know we've got some feelings towards ESG. You're not alone. I have strong feelings towards ESG as well. But if there are large associations that prove that these different mining operations are legit, that they actually have what they say they have, then I want to see a large operation like GMT present in that lineup. Full stop. I just want to see that they're playing in those leagues. Let's see. Oh, questions coming in. All right, guys. Thanks for answering those questions from the rest of the community. But this was shared at the AIBC Summit on November 17th in Malta, in a fireside chat between Michael Saylor, the founder and chairman and CEO of MicroStrategy, and Mike Kostash, a blockchain investor, entrepreneur, and consultant. So they made it very, very public they were joining here. And then in October, guys, Khabib, if you were wondering why the clickbait with Khabib, well, bros, sisters, Khabib got signed by GMT. That's right. He's a GMT ambassador now. There he is at the press junket, talking about the need for mining and having indirect exposure to mining as a layperson. You wouldn't expect Khabib to be somebody who goes and works in a crypto mining facility. He's busy training to be one of the best in the world in the UFC, right? At MMA. He can't also be somebody who does full-time crypto mining. That just doesn't, that's not how the world works, right? You have 24 hours in a day. So here he is on behalf of GMT. Guess who else is? Yeah, this guy. Now, if you don't know immediately who this guy is, this is Till Lindemann, the lead singer of Rammstein. Like, I know, just I found the silliest picture that I could of him, because that's how this dude is on stage. He's almost 60 years old, and he's out on stage looking like this, because their show is hilarious, right? It's over the top hilarious. But yeah, these two very unlikely ambassadors for GMT, worlds apart. This guy, devout Muslim. This guy, pretty much like devoted to rock and roll. That's kind of what he's devoted to. But they're both ambassadors. Why? Because crypto and guys, cryptocurrency is not, it's non-denominational. It doesn't have borders. So it's great to see that you have people from various different sides and of the world and various different walks of life saying, yeah, we're going to be on board of this. And clearly very intelligent people. If you've seen them talk about, if you've seen them talk about the things that they're interested in, they're clearly intelligent people. See the chat coming in, guys. The unboxing project says, I thought that was the Beat Connect guy. No, it's not Carlos Matos. He spoke in Miami. And then Ravenboy Crypto, du hast. That's funny. Yeah, that's not quite the right spelling yet. It's DU, but that's hilarious, man. So yeah, I mean, I was shocked when I saw the news. But yeah, both of these two, Khabib and Till from Rammstein, they're both now ambassadors for GMT. And there are various other media reviews coming in, guys. The IB Times talked about the top blockchain projects to follow in 2021. Guess who made the list? That's right, GMT. So they've been added to GMT's been added to the list of leading blockchain projects to look for 2021. It's often reviewed by major media outlets like Forbes, Bloomberg, and others. So it's on the radar of others. Let's go ahead and do a live find here. So there it is. Live find on the page. You can see that it's number 6 on that massive sprawling list, right? So this is a bit outdated. This will redirect to gmt.io, but a lot of the stuff is going to be updated in 2022. But that's IB Times. They're giving them some love. Here's some future plans for GMT.io, the GMT token. Yeah, Rainbow Crypto looked it up. I appreciate you looking it up. Yeah, it's DU Hust. It's hilarious, guys. And I don't know, man. I'm tickled pink. Like, you wouldn't guess it, maybe. I don't know, but I'm a bit of a Rammstein fan. Like, my wife will walk in and I'm like doing work, and I've got this like playlist of Rammstein songs playing, and I'm like, just grooving, doing my thing. And she's like, what is wrong with you? Nothing, I think. Okay, yeah, actually, there's plenty wrong with me, but let's be real. Rammstein is awesome. We can agree on this. Okay, we just agree. Agree that Rammstein is awesome. Sorry, some goblin loser, that I have to, my filters are so restrictive, I had to go out of my way to approve that comment. But yeah. But they're getting a lot of love, guys. Here they are in IB Times again. Some future plans, though. Let me keep the main site up while we talk about some of the future plans. Primary goal for the near future of GMT token is listing on the main cryptocurrency exchange, Binance, right? When Binance? It's still a relevant question, unfortunately. And as you know, like, I like the knock-on effects that centralized listings offer to our favorite decentralized tokens, but I much prefer DEXs, right? 1-inch DEX, Uniswap, those are Matcha.xyz. Those are available right now for your GMT tokens. You can do those trades today with GMT. Registering to get the additional airdropped value, the sort of dividends of holding, the full benefits of holding, that still needs to be done at gmt.io. And when you do that, go through the full process of understanding what you're doing. But when you do that, use the promo code BIZ_GMT, as you see down in the description of this video. That will entitle you to twice the mining rewards that you would normally have in your first 30 days. If you do decide to go that route, guys. Not telling you what to do. Never will I tell you what to do. But if you're interested, that's a benefit for you. But yeah. So the unboxing project says I'm the same way with Slipknot. It's fine at the home office, but sometimes I forget when I'm at the office and it gets loud. Oh, that's hilarious. That's great. What I love about the day job that I have right now is that we could if we did have a co-working space, we would absolutely have a little corner that is like just for like EDM style music, another corner that's just like this sort of thing, Rammstein, and like and then various other like kind of esoteric German music and other kinds of like international music. We listen to like that and my gosh, why can't I think? The Antwoord and stuff, like all kinds of other things like that. I know we'd have little alcoves where we just listen to whatever we want. Really cool group, but yeah, you can't always listen to everything out loud. So yeah, hilarious. But guys, the primary goal is for a Binance listing. They're planning to take 4% of the world's Bitcoin mining in the next 2 years, and long term 20%. Those are big numbers. 4% of the world's Bitcoin hash rate, GMT is gunning for in 2 years. Can they do it? I think if anybody can, they're in that rare group that can. And they're proving it by being part of the BMC. That's what I was talking about before. That Bitcoin mining core group that is headed up by Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy. So it's this tough thing, right? Where we don't love to see centralization, but in certain that's the name of the game with Bitcoin mining. It's much more difficult to make sure that you can shoulder the burden of all of the infrastructure costs and now the rising cost of electricity versus the profitability of Bitcoin mining. Getting indirect exposure does make a little more sense. Or if you already have equipment, you have to relocate a lot of your equipment right now through co-location or finding aggressively cheap cost basis for your power. I've been saying that for months for Bitcoin mining. GPU mining, different story. But for Bitcoin mining, nah, you have to work with people who have that level of vision for the future of their mining operation. And I think that GMT is showing that. GMT was audited by CertiK and got the legal opinion that it is a utility token. Let me show you exactly what that means. There's the IB Times listing, and here is CertiK.com and their project. Again, this has yet to be updated. Currently ranked number 223. It's a good number. Currently ranked number 223, full stats on the project over at CertiK, and you can find links to this in the description of this video as well. So there's the proof, but listed with the legal opinion that it's fully a utility token. Here's some of the conditions surrounding the promo that you've heard me talk about, and you can see down below my video there. But clients who buy GMT directly on the website using a promo code, in this case, BIZ_GMT, will receive double mining rewards within 30 days. The promo code is active for 30 days from the date of this live stream. So if you're watching this video after we're live, just know, check the date of publication and, make sure it's within 30 days. Right, of the time that you've viewed this video, because after that point, after that window, that particular promo code that you see down below will no longer be active. And mention it a couple of times how you can use that. Make sure it's all uppercase, BIZ_GMT, and make sure you check out all of the links as mentioned before for all of their socials and all of the articles that I've shown you on screen during this live stream. Guys, I really do think that it's worth taking a look at. And we've seen in the portfolio for weeks how GMT has outperformed native Bitcoin mining. It just has. Getting indirect exposure to Bitcoin mining through GMT token has given a better return on investment from the end of May until today, versus just holding the same $100 or same $1,000 in Bitcoin or mining to that point, because you'd still have your costs to pay down. Now, is it the only way to do it? Obviously not, guys. We talk about all kinds of strategies, but just wanted to validate that it has performed very well in the context of these markets. All right, with that said, guys, let's jump back out of the way. Take a look at your chat. It's on screen. And also quickly evaluate the rest of our portfolios. FPGA mining. Some goblin loser, I don't know. This one is for you. Take a look at this. Top of our FPGA mining portfolio is Cadena. Current market cap is just on fire. It's positive over the last 7 days, 38% back up. It's got those bull horns again. See that? Not quite as high as it was before, but we know that it has headroom to go up significantly higher because it was way up higher before. And then 0x Bitcoin in the number 2 spot, also showing profit. But as we know from watching this channel, that the real profits on 0x Bitcoin and projects like it is not so much in the hodling strategy. It's in the day trading, swing trading strategy with 0x Bitcoin. And what we were talking about before, with GMT, you can just kind of hodl. That's fine. You will see that the liquid asset itself goes up and there's no staking required. But if you are registered with them, you can receive dividends based on the Bitcoin mining payouts that they offer holders of the token. So that is a decent strategy for a token like GMT. For others, right, like 0x Bitcoin, different strategy is required in order to get ahead, to move the needle. You don't have to wait for the price of 0x Bitcoin to go up or worry about it going down. You have to know how to roll with the punches. We see this sort of oscillation back and forth. If you do know how to swing trade, if you're comfortable swing trading this, that's actually very, very low chop right there. Not as big a swing as we've seen in the past. But when we do see big swings on 0x Bitcoin, there's an opportunity every single day, about 5 or 6 times or more, to be able to buy the bottom or buy the dip and sell the top. Right there, 149 up to 183. So we got about a 34-cent swing. So there is an opportunity to scalp those profits. Buy, sell, and do that multiple times throughout the day. Buy, maybe sell. Yeah, about 30 cents there as well. 34 cents again, almost exactly 34 cents. And it looks like it's programmed almost. So if you know what you're doing, get several opportunities throughout the day to make some money from what? From almost nothing. It's crazy. right? It's crazy that these opportunities exist within cryptocurrency. If that's something that fits you and fits your risk appetite and your strategy, then good for you. I'm happy for you. I want to see you winning with whatever strategy makes most sense for you. What I would be sad to hear from this audience and from this community is that you're choosing a strategy that doesn't really match the way you operate, and that you're losing because you feel, FOMO, you feel too emotional, or you feel like you're struggling to stick to a plan. That would make me truly sad. So let's make sure that you have all the correct strategies for yourself. And if you are lurking right now, guys, please do hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. That is officially #advice. Make sure that you are subscribed so that when we go over our Gem Hunter content, you get exposure to the knowledge and the resources that you're going to need to make decisions as we near the end of the bull run, whenever that happens. Because we do cover projects that in some cases other mining content channels don't cover, and then in many cases other cryptocurrency dedicated channels don't cover. We're doing things that in some cases aren't being done anywhere else. Got some great chat coming in, guys. Take a look at our FPGA mining portfolio. Biggest loser here is unfortunately Digibyte, still down pretty hard, down pretty bad. Take a look back at our GPU mining portfolio. We'll jump back in the order that we typically do this. First off, guys, Bitcoin dominance is low, below 40% in the overall market, so something to be aware of there. The unboxing project chimes in and says, "Mind your biz, hodl and stack those sats. That's my plan B, LOL." Hey, I appreciate that. I really do. I think that Bitcoin is absolutely for stacking and locking in profits. But Bitcoin is a market all unto itself, as we know. We've seen this in the past. I mean, in the last 2 years, Bitcoin has been below $4,000. That's crazy. It's crazy. And if you held one full Bitcoin from $20,000 all the way down to $3,400, I personally think that would have been crazy, because you could have nearly quadrupled your position in Bitcoin had you just sold a little bit early, taken some profits a little bit early, and then held those profits in an account to increase your Bitcoin position. But I'm with you. I think that Bitcoin is absolutely the long-term savings strategy. It's absolutely the way to go there, to lock in profits and keep those profits native in a cryptocurrency. So yeah, I love that strategy. And that's precisely why I'm comfortable promoting Bitcoin as part of my logo all day. But yeah, love it. GPU mining portfolio, guys, top of the list is Flux, just kicking butt as per usual, just on fire. Flux at the, let's see. Flux at over almost $14,000 profit, nearly $14,000 profit. Safecoin in number 2, also doing quite well if you had $1,000 in it back in the end of May. Biggest loser is still BitTube. And then Haven still in number 2. It's above $5. I still think it's not quite in the extreme value buy area, but as Haven was previously up at $28, it could potentially go back up again. Not advice. It's down pretty bad though. I think it does have potential, but it's gotten wrecked twice on the internal arbitrage mechanism of pegging to their XUSD and their XGold, their synthetic assets that are built within the protocol. So just be aware, it has suffered from that attack vector more than once. Moving on in the portfolios, guys and gals, we got hard drive mineable coins. And for our hard drive mineable portfolio, top of the list is storage. It's the only one in the money, and it's up by almost 100%. Would have been a good time to take profits a while back. We definitely had much higher profits before with MadeSafe coin. It's no longer in the money. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Sometimes it makes sense to take some profits as long as you're not dumping on the project that you've aligned yourself with. It makes sense to take some profits, because at the end of at the end of whatever the investment period is, that's your portfolio, not theirs. That's their project, but it's your portfolio. So protect yourself, right? Be aggressive in your interests, right? And be very, very cautious. Be very, very cautious about jealously guarding your profits. Got some comments coming in. Some Goblin Loser says, "Mind your biz." Yeah, didn't Michael Saylor say that Bitcoin is a store of value or something of the like? Yeah, yes, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Bernie going all in on Flux, saying I prefer to sell Bitcoin and buy Flux. Whoa, nice. Well, I will say, guys, Flux has a bright future ahead of it, and I've said it many, many times. And no, they don't pay me to say it. They don't. I just think it really does have those fundamentals. Worth mentioning that Chia is still down bad in the hard drive mining portfolio. Raptorium topping the list on CPU mining, $19,000 profit. Let's see. The Deadwood says Raven went up to St. Helens last night. We had a blast wheeling around. Oh, that is awesome. There you go. Oh, you guys are actually chatting it up and having good times in the snow, guys. That's awesome. Yeah, do post if you're in the Discord. Do post photos of anything you're doing right now during the Christmas break with the kiddos. And I'm going to post some photos probably of us being out probably tomorrow. Gonna break in some gifts, break in some Christmas gifts. It'll be fun. So should be able to start. There is there's a family and pets sub channel there. I don't know if we're gonna fire that back up, but probably should have the Discord going. But it is for photos that are kind of like not just for social media. But that's awesome, guys. Glad everyone's having a great and fun holiday, guys. Safety is overrated. I'm just gonna say we always say stay safe in the holidays. Physical safety is overrated. It just is, right? Like, I've broken bones. Broken my teeth out playing, doing things that I loved doing. Here's the big secret, guys. Nobody gets out of this life alive, right? Like, in the end, spoiler alert, we all die, but not everyone's truly lived. Live a little. Seriously, take some risks, but not with your portfolio. Not to that same extent, right? Like, you decide where the limits are there, but seriously, go outside. Scrape your knee, have some fun, get a bruise, show us some proof that you're actually outside having some fun. Live your life. Anyway, just saying, man. It's just, I don't get it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the unboxing project. That's a phenomenal quote there. It's on screen. It says, mind your biz. If you're going to fail, do it fast and do it cheap. That is hilarious. I love it. Yeah. Oh, and the Deadwood says the yearly snow run every Christmas. Next is my birthday. Going snowboarding on Hood, and it'll be 46. Heck yeah. That's awesome, man. Hit a black diamond or a double black diamond for us, right? Like, YOLO it up. Please don't hit a tree. I mean, like that's pretty serious, man. when you're bombing a black diamond. But like, yeah, have some fun out there, man. And congrats. 46 years. You made it, right? Like, one more year, you made it. You didn't, life didn't get you last year. That's awesome. Congrats. So Raptorium top of the list here, guys, at almost $19,500 profits. Epic Cash at almost $18,000 profit. Biggest loser is still Wild Narrow, unfortunately, at 14.5 cents, but it's on the uptrend. Taking a look again at our ASIC mining portfolio, because I want to scroll down the list and see our other biggest losers. Nervous Network is just behind GMT token, but ahead of Bitcoin. Biggest loser right now, Power Chain, but I always want to see what Dogecoin is doing, and it's currently at 19 cents. I think that's pretty well right-sized for Dogecoin. I don't think that Dogecoin is going to be the Litecoin replacement. Certainly not a Bitcoin replacement, but no Litecoin replacement. Let's see. Yeah, the unboxing project says, isn't that how Sonny Bono died? Yeah, it is. It is how Sonny died. Sonny died skiing and hit a tree on a black diamond slope. He was apparently really good too. But yeah, at it's high speeds, man, really high speeds on those black diamonds. That said, like, and you can get a black. There are black diamonds that are pretty technical that don't require you to go and like almost get your head taken off by a tree branch. Just saying. Some Goblin Loser sends a super chat. Says, thank you for going through the charts again. Thank you. I appreciate you sending that super chat. No, it's fun, man. This is important. These are portfolios that we made months ago, and they can't be faked, right? Like, these are locked in. They're just paper trades anyway. So this doesn't actually represent everything that I've put my own money into. It's just something that we could do. That's the beauty of paper trackers too. We can do this with any other token, any other asset, and we can see, hindsight being what it is, we can see what's performed well up to this point, and did I make the best choice trying to, like, marry this token over here, like trying to hodl this token over here. You don't have to marry a token. You don't have to marry an asset. It's not the same thing. Like, we got to get out of that mindset. We can hodl some things. We can trade other things. We can divest certain profits and take profits in certain places and flip it into other collateral. We can hold like master nodes and various other validator nodes, and we can make these tokens work harder for us, right? That's the bottom line. We don't have to just be subject to the up and down price action. We can make smart moves. So, hey, thank you for saying that. That really makes me feel good about keeping this portfolio. But proof of stake smart contracts, Terra, Phantom, Avalanche, Solana, Wax, still top 5 locked in. Wax, it bears mentioning, is on the upswing like everything else. And most people didn't see that coming. Shout out to the bro, Ken Bosak, who did. He saw this coming, guys. He had tremendous vision here. And just has made out like a bandit over there with Wax. Harmony, not far behind. Since we added the portfolio, it's performed extremely well. And Cosmos as well. Guys, I'm going to keep on harping on Cosmos as being sort of that winner that we didn't know is in the making. But, what is it? 4-year overnight success. It's number 24 in the overall market cap. But here it is in this portfolio, still top 10. And I think it's got headroom to really surge forward, possibly a 5x still ahead of it. So it could do extremely well. Don't sleep on Cosmos or the IBC related projects, projects that run on Cosmos and talk to each other. They're a bit like Cosmos and the IBC connectors that run these various projects. They're a bit like an extended EVM to themselves. So don't ignore them. Really, don't ignore them. But Ethereum is there. Polkadot is below Ethereum right now in terms of the gains that would have been made. It was much higher in the rankings before. It would have been a good time to just take profits and not doggedly hold on to it. Biggest loser on this side of the portfolio, still Internet Computer. Not a shock. There it is. $5 billion market cap, but it's being propped up by VCs and various other interested parties. Don't know what to say about that anymore. Probably not going to mention it too much. Neo, I don't understand at all. Just going to say that right now. I don't know who is building on it. I don't know who really cares about it. Take a look at DeFi Llama to see if Neo is even present on this list. I'm actually going to have to do a find and replace for Neo. There we go. There's Neo in number 60. Number 60 out of several others. Between the likes of Zilliqa or Zil and SifChain. SifChain, see that? Massive upside. It's only one protocol right now, but even SifChain has got, I think, a more robust and promising roadmap than Neo right now. I don't understand how Neo is even still going. Same with VeChain, same with others. They're Energy and others. They're promising quite a bit, but they don't have a whole lot else backing it. Cosmos, as I mentioned before, only got one protocol on it, but you see that massive upside? That's because of the IBC network. So things like SifChain, for example, talk to Cosmos. So this is actually not correct to say there's only one protocol on Cosmos and one protocol on SifChain. That's not measured correctly. So there's more to the story than what you see here in TVL on networks like any IBC network like Cosmos, like SifChain. So I'm dropping some alpha there, guys. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. That is, you need to know anything that runs IBC, use the hashtag IBCgang on Twitter and look up what, you tell me what you find. Next time we go live, you tell me what you find when you look up IBCgang. I think what you're going to find will open your eyes to a very different side of DeFi that we're ignorant, many of us are ignorant to, because we've been so focused on proof of work and we have not taken proof of stake very seriously yet. So that's why I talk about how Cosmos and the Cosmos ecosystem, they really shouldn't be ignored. Anyway, rant over. Back over to this portfolio, guys. I think that's the full story there. Check out the junk drawer to see what kind of cool meme coins and other pumpamental coins are doing well. And we got Saitama Inu still showing printing over $1 million in profit there. It's just unbelievable, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I get jealous every time I see that. To the people who are meme coin speculators who just have made a killing in their meme coins. Wouldn't you like to have an extra $1 million lying around after only putting $1,000 in? I would. Heck, even if it meant that I received some ridicule from people because they were like, "Oh my gosh, Seth, that's a meme coin. That's a joke. You can't be serious right now, can you? Bruh, those gains are serious. $1 million is serious money. So memes are serious business right now. It's crazy, but that's the market that we live in. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind being like taking some arrows, taking some ridicule in exchange for making life-changing profits. Yeah, $1 million of crypto collateral to then flip into other crypto investments, or even just lock straight into Bitcoin, even right now, while it's printing a relative all-time high. I wouldn't mind that. Would you? $1 million worth of Bitcoin? Guys, let's run the numbers. Let's run the numbers. Okay, there you go. Proof of Linux. I'm using a Linux computer there. Let's divide that by roughly a $52,000 Bitcoin price. Almost 20 Bitcoin, right? 20 Bitcoin. 20 Bitcoin in your savings by holding Saitama, $1,000 worth of Saitama Inu. Whatever. Let the maxis make fun of you on crypto Twitter. Let the maxis make fun of you at trade shows. A lot of them don't have 20 Bitcoin. Full stop. A lot of them don't even have 1 Bitcoin. Actually, when you talk to some of the ones that are like known influencers, that's the big secret of Bitcoin maxis. There are a lot that don't even hold a full Bitcoin. Don't let them talk down to you. You do the strategy that works for you. Anyway, just throwing it out there. But Saitama Inu, top of the list. And moving on down, Floki, UFO Gaming, Luffy, kind of not much has changed by way of the stacked ranking there. Zion Network is just above Hex still, and Hex is below the targets it was at before. Back up to almost 30 cents, though, so it's performing extremely well, I think likely because of the upcoming Pulse Chain and Pulse X launch. They rebranded from Pulse Swap to Pulse X. Might cover that in the near future. I don't know. If you guys want me to, maybe I can coordinate something with Richard Hart as well in the future. Not sure. But, you know, he's not everyone's favorite person. He's a bit of a polarizing personality, but, you know, I've live streamed with him before, and he's been perfectly civil to me. I've got no gripe with him personally. And I don't think he has a gripe with me either. So you let me know if that's something you're interested in. But I think that's why the Hex price has gone back up towards 30 cents, is because of that pending launch within that ecosystem. But it's not a direct thing. It's an indirect price, sort of like price influence. So I think that's why it's maintaining that position there and going up, like not just following other trends. Down the list, looks like our biggest losers are unfortunately still in the quick and dequick area, but they are up over the last 7 days by nearly 13%. I think what's difficult with projects like this is that the coin supply is so low that you've got this massive coin price, and it makes it difficult for people who have the unit bias in their heads to decide, I want to buy like whatever, 15 of these things. And if it costs a couple $100, you're not going to be inclined to do that. So yeah, I think that's something that got working against them. Bone, on the other hand, is just a depressed price. It's only $1.44. Same with Kishu Inu, right? It's like fractions of a penny, fractions of a fraction of a penny. And the price just like was down for quite a while because it just doesn't have strong fundamentals. So anyway, guys, that's our junk drawer. I'm going to leave it at that. Appreciate you watching all the way through this day after Christmas live stream on a lazy day after Christmas Sunday. Guys, you really are the reason that I make this media. I love that you have spent this time with me. Thank you. You know, I love your face. Let me ask you one more time before I let you go. Make sure you hit that subscribe button until it blows up in my face like that, and turn on all notifications. We've got a lot of videos coming out over the next couple of days, especially before New Year's. Please do also be thoughtful of other people who may be in need at this time. And a final call to action, if you haven't already considered doing some charitable giving before the end of the year, please do go over to thegivingblock.com/donate and check out all of the various charities that accept cryptocurrency. You may be able to divest some crypto gains directly into charity, and then of course talk to your CPA or talk to your tax person, talk to somebody who in your life is licensed and who you trust, and see if you can come up with a strategy for giving over the next several days. Guys, you could change the lives of some people who are very much in need. You may be able to really make a difference with your crypto gains, and you may also be able to decrease your tax burden legally. So that's my great Christmas wish for you, and you know, ask of you. If you can help somebody, please do consider it. All right, guys, thanks for watching to the end of the video. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Be sure to check out mineyour.biz, where you can sign up for our email newsletter, where we're still ramping up content, but you will occasionally receive specials for flash sales and all kinds of other deals that we have going on the site. You can also check out our services page, where we offer consulting to projects that need it. You can pick up the Freedom Phone, which respects your privacy. You can pay for it in crypto and have it shipped to you anonymously, as well as getting merchandise that also is paid for with crypto. That's right, we practice what we preach, including, well, a Flux swag page. That's right. It's a dedicated page just for the team over at Flux Network, because we love them that much. Thanks for watching to the end. Thanks for being subscribed. You know I love your face. Be sure to stay private and mind your biz.